Hi guys, welcome back to 100% Mag. So hope you're all staying safe and well out there. We are returning back to Premier League action. This Saturday is Newcastle United take on Brentford at St James's Park. This is going to be an absolutely amazing game, a chance for Newcastle to start getting the performances in the right direction. And this game was meant to be a 4:30 kickoff on the Sunday, but due to the fact that we are playing in the Champions League on Tuesday coming, that game had to be rearranged to the 5:30 kickoff on the Saturday night. So it's live on Sky Sports for this one as we take on Brentford at St James's Park. And of course, if all goes well, then we can get a good run of form going, of course, in this Premier League season. Now, the last time Newcastle was on a run of this kind of magnitude where we're losing three matches in a row. Of course, the last time we lost four in a row was back in January of 2021. That was when, of course, Steve Bruce was the manager at Newcastle United, and of course, it extended to five during the lockdown. But hopefully that will not be the case on Saturday. Hopefully we'll come away from St James's Park with all 3 points in the bag. But we are going up against Thomas Frank's side, who are unbeaten in all four of their Premier League games this season, winning 3-0 against Fulham in an away fixture and drawing all three at home against, of course, Tottenham, which they got a 2-2. Bournemouth, which they got a 2-2, and a 1-1 draw against Crystal Palace as well. They ended last season with 5 wins out of 6. So this is going to be an interesting game, but there is a massive bonus for Newcastle going into this one in the fact that when you look at the past fixtures at St James's Park against Brentford, the last time we lost to Brentford in a competitive match was back in 1934, 1935. It was a 5-2 loss, but since then we have went on to win 6 and draw 1 against Brentford. So we have a very good positive results against them, of course. And looking at this game, hopefully that form runs on, and hopefully we'll get to see the 3 points come out of this game on Saturday. The referee for the game will be none other than Craig Pawson for the game, and on VAR it will be John Brooks. No less than 4 tune postings for the South Yorkshire based Whistler last season. A trio of draws: a 1-1 at home to Bournemouth, a 0-0 at Old Trafford against Man U, a 0-0 at Palace, and a victory of 5-1 down at the London Stadium against West Ham, of course, as well. But I've got to say, looking at this game, I really do hope we can show a lot more than what we've been showing so far this season. We had a fantastic opening game against Aston Villa. The game against Man City, we should have at least tried to do something in it, but unfortunately we couldn't really get it going. The Liverpool game, we were, winning in that game. Then we ended up giving away the win to Liverpool. Then, of course, the Brighton game, we just didn't seem to turn up for that one. I don't know what happened in that game, but hopefully this game against Brentford will rectify all them problems and we will be seeing Newcastle come away with 3 points in the game. Now, looking at Brentford's lineup going into this one, of course, ex-Magpie striker Ivan Toney remains banned from playing after admitting to illegal betting charges. So he's going to be out for a very long time for Brentford. And looking at our team going into it, of course, Emil Kraft and Joe Willock remain sidelined, while Sven Botman is doubtful, but missed out on a Dutch call-up in order to work on his fitness. There's concerns over Sandro Tonali as well, who withdrew from the Italian squad ahead of last night's game, of course, at the San Siro, and it is feared that he could maybe miss the game in the Champions League, which isn't a good thing. It would be, of course, nice to see him make it for that game. Hopefully, fingers crossed, he does, but we'll have to wait and see, of course, on that one. We've got to get past this game against Brentford first. Going into this game, I think, we've got everything there capable of coming away with 3 points in the bag. I'm sure Eddie Howe will get things right, of course, in this one, and he'll pick the right lineup. We've seen some fantastic performances from players as well on international duty. Kieran Trippier playing out of position for England last night against Scotland, of course, and he was absolutely fantastic. It's just typical Kieran Trippier performance. And Bruno as well has been doing fantastic for Brazil whilst on the international duty. Joe Linton as well, when he was called upon in the games for Brazil, has put in fantastic performance as well. Almiron for Paraguay as well has put in some pretty good performances as well. And even Alexander Isak for Sweden as well, putting in some fantastic performances. But we're back to club football now. The international break is over and it's back to the business of getting results on the board in this Premier League season and pushing us up that table, because at the moment, as it currently stands, before we even get into this game, we have lost 3 and won 1. 4 games in, only 3 points to talk of for us, and we sit 14th in the league. But we have had to take on the likes of Man City, Aston Villa, Liverpool and Brighton, 4 teams that finished inside the top 7 last season. So that in itself shows you, just how tough of a start we have been given this time around. And looking at Brentford going into this game, of course, they're 8th in the league, and like I just said, they're unbeaten in their opening 4 games of this Premier League season. So that means they've got 6 points with them drawing 3 and winning 1 out of them 4 games. But looking at our goal scoring, we've scored 7, conceded 7. Brentford have scored 8 and conceded 5. So maybe, we do have a chance of getting in behind that Brentford defence and picking up the 3 points on Saturday. And then it is on to our first Champions League game since 2003, when Sir Bobby Robson was the manager of Newcastle United, and of course our first European game since we were in the Europa League only 10 years ago, where we took on Benfica, of course, in the Europa League. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Going into this game, I am going to say Newcastle come away 3-0 winners against Brentford. That's my score prediction. Let us know your score prediction down in the comments below. And until next time, I'll see you all in the next one. And however, lads.